The Hidden Stream, a sacred epic of consciousness and history. The Truth is Everywhere, by Reverend Esnur. Index: Goddess, Millennium, Hidden Stream. Till you remember the God that you are, you'll need to come back to play. 1. Goddess. Before the word was written, Goddess held the hearth from which civility was forged. First, rude creatures scavenging the veldt, wandering across the trackless earth, mixing their bones with fossils of long-dead beasts. Forgotten, God-Goddess within. No single mind with which to see. Then there were hearths that women tended, and tracks to hearths by hunters tread. Long roads, long time. By differentiation, humanity arose from bestiality, and Goddess, by the hearth, sat smiling. Demeter, by Eleusinian hearth, smiled. Smiling, meditating on flame, Mother watches, weaving wreaths of rusty rye sheaves. It was she who taught the corn to grow in furrows by the hearth-home. Plough my furrow, Inanna taught. In ancient Ur, plough Gaia's furrow, and she gives forth all good things. Trackless world becomes verdant fields, becomes canals and roads and city walls. Cycles of birth, growth and rebirth she taught from her furrow and her hearth. Logic and skills were learned, tending hearth homes demarcated from the wild. The written word was forged. The hunter ploughed her field and brought forth gods, priesthoods, temples, warriors, and sages. The word became fleshed, and mind became words in the inner ear. Two minds, one singing myths, the other building bridges. Where the single mind? Where the seeing eye? Hearthside Demeter, smiling, smiling. Ishtar went to Eridu, to her wise father Enki. She danced before his drunkenness, and took the sacred May, the power words of civil arts, for the growth of human consciousness and evolution of the single mind. Eris tossed the golden apple amongst snubbing Olympians, whose qualities, they argued, are seen to be the most desirable. To Callisti, to the most beautiful. They called Paris to arbitrate. Aphrodite's bribe was fair Helen, and humanity learned war and poetry. Who is the most beautiful? Who the fairest? Freya fed them golden apples of immortality, but wise Wotan lost her foolishly, and soon enough Valhalla flamed away. Yet Isis knows the secret of the single mind. She wears the eye of Horus shining on her brow. Cradling her golden grain, Mother Demeter sits smiling by the hearth, weaving, weaving, dreaming images of ages, smiling, smiling in the firelight, seeing all our incarnations, and God-Goddess that in truth each is. When night sky was dark, stars mapped spirit world. A named God is not the God. 2. Millennium. The connections among us. I celebrate the century past, half of which I saw, anticipate the coming age, long the road through time to this present moment. 10 millennia ago, the Atlantis, flowering, floundered, sank beneath the rising seas as the glaciers melted. Slowly, new growth, each isolated habitat with its legends of a golden age, that time when alien divinity walked with our humanity. Respect for Goddess lingered long, earth bedecked with standing stones, circles of power, her nurturing energies. Then encroaching patriarchy, suppressing first blooms of antediluvian survival, instituting conquest, slavery, subjugation of women, and the bloodthirsty cults of false reptilian faiths. For millennia without end, power fought power, empire followed empire, runes were built upon runes, and teacher followed teacher, calling humanity back to the path of freedom and love. Buddha, Messiah, prophet, each sought to reform patriarchal faith. Each, to some degree, was betrayed by those who followed in his name. The era of clashing empires continued, with covert powers lurking about, some on the left path, some on the right. But the path of truth and love was hidden among the myths of 1,000 fallen peoples. The great truth was whispered between arcane teachers and secret students, the truth handed down from ancient days, from long-lost temples of old Lemuria. Thou art God. No star burns more brightly. All the public faiths are made to hide this liberating truth. So time wore on. The hidden stream resurfaced here and there. Old culture was remembered, old myths were retold, though the tellers risked the stake. Bit by bit, past glories were rebuilt, libraries replaced incinerated libraries. Since Babylon the Great was burned, no great cities were abandoned in over 1,000 years, the 1,000 years now ending. The cycle of conquest and destruction, though, peaked in atomic cinders near the ending century's midpoint. As the ending century started, great revolutions of technology and freedom were peaking. Slavery, they say, abolished. State churches gone. Incapacity of women evaporating. Then raging wars as the darkest forces resisted the light of the coming age. Solar cross inverted. Hammer on the anvil. The 20th century, century of the great wars, even the lesser of the evils burst 1,000 suns upon the cities, and humanity cried, "War no more." So a half-century of armed peace, and rumors of war, and building for war, and war itself ensued. But not the ultimate nuclear horror. Gaia made a burnt offering to death. All this time, technology evolved, linking us in myriad ways, creating Gaia's electric nerves. Now there are no secrets. Everyone's a Gutenberg. All are connected. Ideas move the world. The idea that we are all related with one mitochondrial mother and can speak one to another is the most powerful idea of the millennium. Form, sound, and number are sacred science's pyramid summit of truth. 3. Hidden stream. The standing stones know the truth. The hidden stream flows through them. The mystery schools knew it too, but when that bishop in Athens suppressed the rights of Eleusis, he did not know, and not knowing, stopped a rivulet that had flowed 2,000 years. In the Dark Ages, All-Father Odin hung 9 days upon the world tree to win the hidden truth that the runes encode. And that stream, too, flowed forth until it was dammed by the cross, its truth hidden nearly 1,000 years. Jung knew their power and proclaimed a new millennial return of the runes. And thus it went in many lands and places. In far Cathay, the secret of the golden blossom. In Arabia, the Sufis kept their secret garden. The Kabbalah hid sacred geometric truth. Alchemy sought to reawaken the power within. Monks and sisters from Nippon to Tibet followed their paths to deepest truth. All, Buddha said, expedient devices. And the conquerors swept away all their work, and yet it arose again as if from the earth. The spontaneous forces of Gaia in the countryside, the little people, the fair ones, the visitors from beyond, all tempting humanity back to the source, to truth half remembered from Atlantean chronicles. Kept secret in sacred bloodlines, the truth challenged the vested masters of all the races, priesthood and royalty, till the bloodlines themselves were corrupted with power. And the hidden stream that arose to illuminate the modern world was tainted with the secret handshake, the worship of Mammon. Come, all good Bohemians, to the Owl of Babylon, The modern masters at the sacrifice intone. All who would be strong must chain themselves to wrong. The seer whispers to these old and dying masters. Their rights fail. Their control of the hidden stream falters, and millennia of power tremble at the coming of a new age. Now all can know the hidden truth that flickers across a million monitors if anyone just looks to see. And those who look can see, and those who see can know. Thou art God, none other. Thus the hidden stream bursts forth, washing away the crust of ages, evaporating the chains of millennia. Ah, the wailing of the masters, blinded in the light of truth shining from the saints of all the ages, because the dark can neither abide nor penetrate the light. See how all their plans evaporate, how the hidden stream cleanses all. Führer evoked, the solar wheel reversed, and burned his empire down. Mao stretched forth his hand to crush the lamas in their mountain holds. Now, across the world, the exile celebrates the Kali Chakra again and again. The wheel of time turns. The stars align. The time is right. All the false masters sought to crush the spirit, so only they would hold the truth close and secret. Yet the truth is everywhere and flows through all our hearts. The new age breaks with new mind energies. A century ends, a millennium begins, and these words I write are ones and zeros flickering across the one net of humanity's brave new immortality. Seeking to reach out to all accelerating intelligences of the cosmos, we become what surpasses us. We create the new I see of our dreamings. We are at last becoming free to be the gods and goddesses we truly are. And so she sits serenely, sheaves aglow, as she watches the flickering flames. Stepping through shadows, forming formless void, one alights and is godness.